How's it going? What do they call you?
Anthony?
Anthony. You got a last name?
Anthony Petruccio.
There you go, Anthony Petruccio. It's a good name. It's strong. Where are you from? Anthony Petruccio.
Jersey.
Yeah, Jersey. You know, I thought so. I had a feeling, you know.
You too, yeah?
That's right. That's right. You know a little about me, Anthony?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit, right? Oh boy. Yeah, I appreciate you. You give me a minute like this. It's an honor to meet you. Thank you, Anthony.
What's going on, guys? Bart here with Tully Television. I want to thank all of you for stopping by, liking, commenting, sharing, all of that beautiful YouTube stuff. Hope today is the day we earn that subscription. If so, you hit that red subscribe bar down below. And today, I'm just going to give you some thoughts on Daredevil, the season 1 finale of the Born Again series, entitled Straight to Hell. We pick up pretty much when Poindexter was trying to take Wilson out, but shot Matt instead. We see how Poindexter wound up getting out with the power of Vanessa. Vanessa convincing him to retake his role as Bullseye so she can silence Foggy and the client. Now, when we see Poindexter this series, or especially the last couple episodes, a lot of his scenes are tinted with blue to kind of make you feel the pressure that he's feeling in his head of his life situation. So that is the explanation of the blue lighting when it comes to Bullseye. He will be in season 2. There is some behind the scenes pictures of and shots of him. It would be nice to see what a comic accurate costume for Bullseye will be. But at the same time, it's one of those where I'm okay if they switch it up a bit. I'm not really a stickler too much for the Bullseye uniform or outfit, but it would be interesting to see what that would look like in the live action version of Daredevil. But while Matt is in the hospital recovering with his pretty much now his ex-girlfriend Heather, and I believe, I want to say either Cherry or the law partner was there for a few minutes too. But basically, Matt is explaining to Heather what Wilson is trying to do as far as using her to get to him. And she's not having it. And she winds up basically calling him delusional, wishes him luck with everything, kind of thing, but basically leaves him. It's officially done. There's no going back on anything like that. However, at the same time, Wilson is telling his assistant Buck to go take care of Matt in the hospital because a dead hero is better than an alive vigilante. So Matt is on ticking clock there. Do I know how to talk? You know how to talk. Do you know how to talk? So, but when Matt hears Buck here, he winds up escaping and heading back to his house, in which he runs into Frank Castle, aka the Punisher. And only because of Karen calling him did he make his way back to Matt's apartment. But as Matt and Frank are talking about the ups and downs of their version of justice and why Frank is so adamant about that his version is like the final that's what you need to do, because if you don't, they're just going to keep coming back and coming back and coming back. And here you are, you're protecting Wilson Fisk of all people, and Matt can't even explain it, but he feels like that was the right thing to do. And Frank is like, now look at it though. You left him alive. Now look, the city's in chaos and mayhem because you saved him. If you didn't save him, none of this would be going on. And as this debate is going back and forth, the Punisher cops are on their way to Matt's house to take Matt out, or, type of thing. But he winds up taking off to the roof, switching it up to the Daredevil costume, and Daredevil and Punisher take these cops out. Dude, this is definitely one of the better action scenes. The team up, the way they film this team up, is definitely one of the better team up fight scenes I've seen on the shows. Definitely. Maybe even this scene is phenomenal. The way the Punisher is going nuts. Daredevil's trying not to take anyone out. But finally, we see the one cop who took the White Tiger out, Hector Elia. I'm just going to call him Hector because I feel like I'm mispronouncing his last name or misremembering it. But it basically the cop who took out White Tiger, right? The fellow that Matt was defending earlier in the season, because he has that same Punisher vest on, and his hand is stuck in the wall because Frank threw a knife through his hand, and he's stuck to the wall, and Frank basically is like, kill that man. He, took out your client. He doesn't deserve to. And Matt's like, no, no, no. And is trying to protect him now from Punisher, even though he just watched Punisher like kill 3, 4 dudes, 5 dudes. And Punisher takes him out. He's like, no. See, now he won't ever be a threat. He killed the man in cold blood. He killed the man in cold blood, Matt. No. People like that do not deserve to continue to live, is the train of thought that Frank has. And as we go through, of course, the mayhem of the city, because now it's a blackout, all because he's putting this on vigilantes. And cops, these corrupt cops are taking advantage of taking citizens out who shouldn't agree, like when there's a riot going on, to try to not riot or be outside while rioting is going on. And just because you are rioting and, say, taking a TV or clothes or something like that doesn't mean that you should be executed on the spot. I acknowledge that punishment is like way off the basis, something like that type of crime. But it shows an example in a scene where some young guy is taking something or coming out of a store, about to go into a store, that the front store window is broken, and one of the cops take him out, kills him. And his partner's like, yo, what, like, and he pulls the guy's hat down. He's like, oh, look, vigilante now. To just explain that, that's what he thought he was. Because there is now a law against vigilantes, making it illegal in the city of New York. So that's why, partially what's going on, too, with all that. Vanessa and Wilson talk about what the ultimate plan was. the reason why Red Hook has been so important in this series is because there's a specific rule that allows uh, the ports there to be free of any rules of the governing nation that it resides in. So the ports of Red Hook don't have to obey the laws of the United States or New York. So that's why Wilson wants that so bad. Excuse me. After Matt and Frank defeat the Punisher cops, Matt and Karen. Karen winds up meeting Matt and Frank. Brings them to get cleaned up. Frank is gonna go find his. He's gonna go do his own little side mission, and Karen and Matt are gonna grab some people they can trust to try to start retaking back the city. About the next day, we see Matt finally getting, kind of coming to terms with what happened to Foggy, and coming to terms that, he used to think that these things happened to him. It was God gifting him these gifts, and he started feeling like he needed to use his gifts to help people, and he let himself get carried away with a lot of things in his life, and he really wants to try to recover some of his losses that he took emotionally and mentally, and take his chance back into, of course, being Daredevil again. Now, we see some cops. We see the Asian woman detective from earlier in the season, more specifically like the bank robbery episode. We see Sherry, Karen, the Josie's boar. I'm assuming Josie. They're meeting there, right? And so we're doing that. Frank winds up getting captured by some of the other Punisher cops, and he is caged by Wilson Fisk, because Wilson Fisk goes back to Red Hook with Vanessa to eat a nice little dinner and everything, and we see Frank there as a prisoner. Wilson is keeping some of the wealthy elites prisoner as well, so there's no one really standing in his way. And Wilson thinks that him and Vanessa are now free and clear to do whatever they want to do. Frank, however, winds up setting up him getting. Frank sets up a cop to help him escape, so to speak. He wanted up like getting a hold of the guy, wrecking him, and probably taking the keys so he can get out of there, skedaddle, because he does have a Punisher special coming down the road, and it's going to probably pick up from that point on, and then Daredevil is going to pick up from here on in season 2, and his little team ups and everything. What I would have liked to do, or see, I should say, is some of the Defenders coming back, even if it was Jessica Jones or Luke Cage. It didn't have to be everyone back like that, but we'll see what happens in season 2. That's pretty much what happened. There may be one or two things I'm forgetting, and if so, let me know down below specifically what I'm forgetting. Poindexter is still alive. Bullseye is still alive. He seems to be either going against Matt or teaming up with Matt next season, for whatever reason that may be. And that's it. That's it. Like I said, if I'm forgetting anything let me know down below. I do think that this season was a little wonky in certain ways. You could tell there was two different creative teams on this series, but the one creative team that worked on the original series is going to be the one solely working on season 2. So hopefully the last couple of episodes and the first episode opening, that's more of what we're going to get. We're going to more get those style of better writing, better interactions with the characters, and a more cohesive focus of what's going on. I will give this season an 8 because as much as there was highlights. Oh, Wilson takes out the police commissioner. I almost forgot about this. Wilson taking out the police commissioner, the way he did it was he squeezed his head and wrecked his face. Like he squeezed his head like a melon. So there's like no more really holding back Wilson. I knew I was forgetting something. Yeah, that scene was insane. So really that's why Wilson is also feeling like Wilson got his groove back, so to speak. Yeah, that's again, I think season 2 is going to be a better cohesive story. I can't wait. Can't you wait? I don't know. You let me know down below your thoughts and ideas for season 2, for season 1, and whatever else you want to add in on that with the Defenders and stuff. Let me know down below. But until next time, peace, Snookums.
It's your ways to see me, Mayor Fisk.
Not me. They see you. But you were never really there for the rank and file, were you? You know, the men and women on the front line, risking their lives to keep New York safe. Keep you safe. I wonder, can we blame the commissioner? I mean, after all, he's just a cog in a broken machine.
Admire me, huh? Hey. Hey. Out of your fucking mind, you know that? You're a bunch of clowns, you know that? You fucking clowns. Admire me. You think you know my pain? You think you know my loss?
Yeah, I was right. You never stop being Kingpin. You can't.
You admire me? What do you know about me? How I see the world? You know how I see the world? This is a circus. A bunch of clowns. I ain't gonna serve with you. I won't fucking piss on you if you were on fire. You got that?
Sorry to hear that, Frank.
Are you?
Yeah.
How about you? You sorry? Not so bad.
We will keep this city safe.
We're still here.
We will not let anyone threaten our homes.